Prince Andrew has officially given up his royal titles. He's been effectively banished from royal life, and the monarchy has entered one of the most shocking crises in modern history. This is not speculation. It's confirmed, and it's unprecedented. A senior royal, born into privilege, power, and pedigree, has just stripped himself of everything that gave him status. So, what happened? Why now? And what does this mean for the royal family's future? Let's break it down. The news dropped like a thunderclap across Britain. A palace statement confirmed that Prince Andrew will no longer use any royal titles or honours, including Duke of York. He's giving them all up: his military honours, his patronages, his ceremonial roles. Gone. The statement said the decision was made after discussions with the king and the wider family. But make no mistake, this wasn't voluntary. This was forced. A palace intervention designed to end years of scandal, shame, and public outrage. Andrew will now live as a private citizen. He will not carry out royal duties. He will not represent the crown. And he will no longer hold any of the titles that once defined his existence. For a man who once stood proudly beside the Queen at Trooping the Colour, this is a total collapse.
To understand how we got here, we need to rewind. Because this didn't happen overnight. Prince Andrew's downfall began years ago, with a friendship that would destroy his reputation. His association with Jeffrey Epstein was first exposed more than a decade ago, but it truly exploded in 2019. That infamous BBC Newsnight interview was supposed to clear his name. Instead, it destroyed him. The interview went viral for all the wrong reasons. Andrew became a punchline, and within days, the palace took action. He was ordered to step back from public life. Then came the lawsuits. Virginia Giuffre filed a civil case in the United States, which was settled out of court. The sum was never officially confirmed, but reports suggested millions. He admitted no wrongdoing, but the damage was irreversible. From that moment on, his royal future was over.
Disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, we're in this together, urging him to keep in touch. In a leaked email from 2011, the royal sent a warm message to the convicted pedophile the day after an infamous picture of the Duke of York with his arm around teenage Virginia Giuffre was made public.
In 2022, the first wave of punishments came. He lost his military titles, royal patronages, and the use of His Royal Highness in any official capacity. He was still technically the Duke of York, but the writing was on the wall. Public opinion was brutal. City councils, universities, and regiments all began cutting ties with him. Portraits came down. Plaques were removed, and public honours were rescinded one by one. He became the royal family's ghost. For a brief time, he tried to stage a quiet comeback. He appeared at his mother's funeral and again at her memorial. But each time, the backlash was swift. Britain had made up its mind. So why now? Why did Andrew finally give up his royal titles completely? Because new scandals have reignited the firestorm. Over the past few weeks, a series of leaked emails and documents have surfaced, apparently showing that Andrew's contact with the disgraced financier continued long after he claimed to have cut ties. Private messages, old photographs, and meeting records appear to contradict years of denials. At the same time, reports emerged linking Andrew to questionable business dealings with foreign officials, including individuals accused of espionage. The timing couldn't be worse. And then came Virginia Giuffre's forthcoming memoir. Excerpts have already circulated, bringing fresh details about her time with Epstein and renewed focus on Andrew's role in that world. Once again, Andrew's name was dominating global headlines for all the wrong reasons. And this time, King Charles had had enough. Behind palace doors, the message was clear. The monarchy could not withstand another year of scandal. If Andrew didn't give up his titles voluntarily, Parliament could move to strip them by law. So, in a last act of control, Andrew agreed to step down on his own terms. Or at least, appear to. Let's be clear about what this means. Andrew is no longer the Duke of York. He loses the right to use his full list of noble titles, Earl of Inverness, Baron Killie, and any remaining military honours. He will no longer represent the royal family in any capacity. He's out of all patronages and public institutions. He will not appear at royal events, at ceremonies, or on palace balconies. His former wife, Sarah Ferguson, will also lose her courtesy title as Duchess of York. The fallout touches her too. The royal household is now expected to remove his insignias, emblems, and coat of arms from official displays and archives. It's a total erasure from royal life. The only title he cannot lose is Prince. That's a birthright, not an appointment. He was born Prince Andrew, and technically he will remain one until death. However, the palace can decide to stop styling him as such in public materials. He may effectively become Andrew Windsor, just another private citizen. He's expected to keep residence at Royal Lodge, his grand home on the Windsor estate, but even that is controversial. There are whispers that the king wants him to relocate quietly to a smaller property and pay full market rent if he stays. He may retain personal security, though scaled back, and of course his daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, are unaffected. They remain members of the royal family with full titles.
The royal family's silence speaks volumes. Behind the scenes, this move was orchestrated to protect the monarchy's image. King Charles and Prince William have reportedly been united in their view that Andrew's presence has become toxic. They want him gone, completely removed from the institution. This is not just about optics, it's about survival. Every time Andrew's name appears in the news, it drags the monarchy back into scandal. For Charles, who's still establishing his reign, and for William, who's preparing for his own eventual rule, Andrew is dead weight. So they cut him loose. The palace's statement is brief and emotionless. No warmth, no defence, no praise. Just the facts. That alone tells you everything.
That he has quite obviously conducted himself in a manner unbecoming, yes.
Across Britain, the reaction has been fierce, but divided. Some say it's long overdue, that the monarchy should have acted years ago. Others call it too little, too late. For many, Andrew's reputation is beyond repair. The people of York, whose city title he once carried, have been among the loudest voices demanding his removal. Local representatives say they feel vindicated, but not satisfied. They want his dukedom revoked by law to ensure it can never be used again. So, what does life look like for Prince Andrew now? In one word, exile. He's expected to retreat fully from public life. No official duties, no appearances, no interviews. His days will be spent in quiet isolation at Royal Lodge, shielded from the press and ignored by the palace machine. He will live off private funds and whatever remains of his fortune. Once surrounded by power and prestige, Andrew now finds himself cut off, disowned, and disgraced. The renunciation of titles may not protect him from what's still coming. There are rumours of ongoing investigations, both in the UK and abroad, into financial connections, overseas dealings, and possible undisclosed settlements. If new lawsuits emerge, he will fight them as an ordinary citizen, without the veil of royal privilege. That's a terrifying prospect for a man who's never been truly accountable to the law. The palace hopes this act of renunciation will shield the crown itself. By distancing Andrew entirely, they're drawing a line. He's on his own now. But that line could blur quickly if more evidence surfaces. The next few weeks will be critical. Parliament could still move to legally revoke his dukedom, ensuring no future use of the title Duke of York. Royal institutions will quietly erase his name from honours lists, archives and histories. We may see further statements from Buckingham Palace clarifying his new status, or simply silence as they attempt to let the story fade. But make no mistake, this is not over. There are still files, emails and witnesses that could surface. There are still unanswered questions about his finances and relationships, and there is still the memoir, set for release soon, that could bring even more revelations. The royal family will brace for impact once again.